documenting the collapse of life as we know it, as perpetrated by the global military-industrial complex. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the host of the Ronald Show, Ronald. So I am going to be, there's also sources on longevity too and food, and we're going to discuss different things about health, longevity, the subconscious mind, and what's actually possible as a human being, or what we perceive as a human being. Because I've got information that shows that we're not actually physical, we're light energy being perceived through these physical senses that are also an illusion, because we're not really solid, although we perceive ourselves to be, but we live in a two-dimensional world being transcribed in our mind by our soul entity as a three-dimensional experience. So we have the capability to control that reality through thought, and the majority of the thinking, which has been controlled by a psychological operations campaign and propaganda machine of the United States government corporation, along with the City of London, which is its own entity that controls the law and banking system planet-wide, and is also a source of underground information. And that is actually the seat of the powers that be, the City in London. And its major storage centers for information are at the Vatican, the Catholic Church, Vatican in Rome, which is where a lot of technology is, and recently a lot of it's been taken from the United States, from out of desert bases, and is part of the major base that is north of Washington, D.C. and Maryland, the underground base, government base there. And then there's also Denver International Airport, 2.5 miles down below Denver International Airport. There is a 55,000 square mile facility that operates on 3 nuclear generators that operate on a mercury isotope. I have proof of that. And what is going to happen soon is actually the government now is going to be falling under so much pressure, because there's going to be a physical raid on the global assets right now that people are actually considering taking up arms, and it's being predicted that there's going to be a mass global insurrection. So that is the way things are headed. But I'm here in sunny Florida, and I'm outside instead of being back in the studio right now just to listen to the peace. You would never know anything's going on standing out here. So that's going to actually wind up happening. There's going to be a disengaging because of the electrical shutdown of our media and information resources. So if you can see this now and take immediate action and get to where you need to go and gather the resources that you need to survive, then there's a good possibility that you might see what happens. And your kids, I got a 4-year-old niece and a 2-year-old nephew and a 1-year-old nephew. I'd like to see them live 84 years, get through it. It's going to be interesting. I know we all came here for a purpose, and this is some kind of a existence that it's certainly turning out to be historic. I mean, I can't imagine what our history books are going to read 100 years from now when we come out of this mess and we've met intelligences from beyond our current physical perception that exist around and within us at various frequencies from various planes of existence, and through that travel through instantaneous teleportation to our exact location, time-wise and geophysically within the existence of the solar system and the Milky Way galaxy, which someone is starting to point out that this possibly is just an illusion, and there's something that exists outside of the universe itself that really encompasses what true reality is, and that this is just some kind of a crazy game. So we can treat it like a game, and that's why I really have decided to just focus my attention on delivering the truth through a show that is not propaganda. That is what I really believe to be. I am pouring out as the heartfelt truth of how we need to prepare. I mean, why question this information? So, this is the Ronald Show, talking about the collapse of life on this planet as we know it. There's really not much time to do anything other than prepare. So let's go through the most important things first, and that's preparation. Everybody will need to have stored at least 2 years. I would say, to really give yourself a fighting chance, give yourself at least 1 year for everybody in your family to have food and water. So store that now, because you're going to have to store it where you're going to have to get it, so get as much as you can now. I would say stop paying any bills. Save all of your money this month, February and March, and every time you get money in your pocket, go to the store and buy long-term supplies like cases of water, and long-term storage foods like cases of mayonnaise. Go to Sam's, go to BJ's, go to Walmart, get mayonnaise. It's got a proteins and carbohydrates and fats. You're going to need calories, and it doesn't have to be refrigerated, so stuff like that. Canned food. Get a hand-operating, a hand-operating can opener, because you're not going to be able to be 100% reliant upon electricity. So it's going to be more physical. Hey, you're going to get off your ass, and you're going to get away from the boob tube, and you're going to wind up getting in shape. Consider it the Armageddon diet. So let's talk about health and nutrition. We're talking about the Armageddon diet, the apocalypse diet, the rapture diet, call it what you will. It's a total extinction level event that we're about to all go through. So you're going to lose weight, and, you'll probably come out a lot more healthier in the end, because everybody's wrapped up in the media propaganda scheme that has created stress and ill health and left us reliant on somebody other than ourselves. I mean, we should, as individuals, become self-reliant, 100%. You're born here, suck your mother's tit for, a couple of years, and then learn about stuff. The monetary system is what has caused the entire predicament that we're in for ourselves. We've actually given away power through somebody else's creation of the monetary system. So that is going to collapse anyway. The dollar is going to die. Let's talk about what is going to happen. The dollar is going to die at the end of March 21st, around that area. There's going to be 3 days of media about how it dies, and we're all going to sit and go, okay, so what does that mean? Well, it means that suddenly you buy less for your dollar. But jobs have been lost now, and mass layoffs are happening because there's some major catastrophes that suddenly rock the government and take out the headquarters of your building. So now you don't have any food or way to process the money from your checking account. So you don't have cash, and the banks suddenly fail, and now you don't have enough food and water, and your power goes out. So now you have you lose water and power. So the first thing you have to do is get all the food and water that you can and get it ready 1 year for each person in your house. Okay, so that's rule number 1. And rule number 2 is decide if you are living in the proper location. Meaning, if you're on a coastal area that's about to get hit by flooding, and I'm going to go over that later on in the show, the PowerPoints, I'm going to say, here's the map, if you're here, you should be here. If you're like on the east coast of the United States or in Florida, you should maybe go into the mountains of Pennsylvania and South Carolina, the Midwest, away from the Gulf of Mexico, because it's about to get wiped out. Don't go to Mexico, eastern Mexico, maybe southwest Mexico or Latin America, okay? But it's about to get fucked in the United States. So wherever you are, you want to get to high grounds, as far away from coastal areas to the highest ground you can get to. Look at a map, go to high ground, as far away from any water as possible. Pick that. It's like the center of the United States, around there. But there's going to be major issues with water and transportation soon, because these floodings are about to happen very soon, because of and then there's going to be geomagnetic activity. I mean, we're getting a whole bunch of things happening at the same time, and there's a critical mass going on the planet regardless of it. You just saw the rioting in the streets of Egypt. That just happened. I mean, they were out fighting sticks and stones and bottles and flames and rubber bullets and police and looting, and they dethroned a politician, and the military took over. Well, hey, that's coming to your town soon. That is coming to your town soon. So thank you for watching the Ronald Show. We're talking about what is coming to your town soon, and that is the recent dethroning of the Egyptian government and takeover by the military, like last week, and the volcano blew up today. So that's coming to your town soon, and you want to be prepared. So like we said, food and water, and you got to get to a high area away from a coastline no later than 30 days from now. You got to be away from the coastline into safety. So I would get all my stuff packed up right now and get immediately on the road. Okay, so that's totally where I'm coming at with that, is immediate action. And I don't want to sound like a sense of urgency. I'm actually taking immediate action, so I'll be making this show on the road, and I will be going to the safest location, and I'm going to pick that location soon. And I'm also going to tell you that you have to take action now. I want you to go to the website, facebook.com/Ronald Farnham, and join the movement and join the show. And I want feedback from everybody who sees this on where you're going and what you're doing. Okay? All right. When we get back, I'm going to talk about the information that you're going to need to know regarding what's going to happen in the next 2 years. We'll be right back after this important message. We'll be right back with the Ronald Show right after this commercial. Here's more of what I'm talking about. If you think that you are going to make it through this, I want you to send me a comment on my Facebook page, Ronald Farnham, Farnham. It's right there at the bottom. And I want you to let me know what your plans are, where you're going and what you're doing. And also, if you live near one of the major military bases that I mentioned, please let me know what the feeling on the street is there, and I'll talk about it on the show. And this will be ongoing. All right, when we get back.